Hey everyone, Steve
And Tiffany.
from A Different Chick Farm. We have some exciting stuff to talk about today. At least it's exciting for us, and I know some of you all feel the same way. Most of y'all probably know we sell seeds. We sell pepper seeds, tomato seeds, we sell some heirloom dent corn seeds and some stuff like that. And we plan on getting further into this stuff in the next couple of years. This year we hope to be able to bring some of our flower seeds available. We've sold zinnias before. We kind of had to pull back because we had some issues with growing one year, but we want to get back to that. We always sell plants and stuff, and fruit trees and fruit bushes and elderberry bushes, which is a fruit also. We sell a lot of stuff, and we sell our seeds: hot peppers, sweet peppers, super hot peppers, habanero level, which some people consider super hots, but it's not. But we buy seeds also. One, we're always looking for new varieties.
Right.
Sometimes we have crop failures, don't we?
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes we plant and we go, hey, we got to get seeds off of this year. And then crop failure. Yeah. On our super hot seeds, sometimes we buy seeds and bring them in with the intention of building us a organic seed stock. And then their peppers are not what they're supposed to be. Yeah. Or they don't germinate. You know, you get bad seeds sometimes. Now, I don't pitch a fit on I'll never talk about, unless it's something horrid out, you'll never hear me talk about the seed supplier, because accidents happen. Don't want to ruin somebody's business over a few batches of bad seeds. It happens. Even the best happens. We deal with several real nice organic seed companies, and one of them last year sold us seeds that were not what they were supposed to be.
And towards the end of the season in August, we got an email saying, we apologize, but the seeds that we sold you that were supposed to be this are actually this. And by that point, we already knew, and so did our customers, because they were trying to figure out why they didn't have poblanos.
Thankfully, I don't think anybody got mad. Most of the people that had bought the seeds thinking they were poblanos were fine when they figured out they were shishitos. It's like, hey, cool, it's a mild hot pepper. Might not have been as good of a sense of humor if they thought they were having poblanos and they got habaneros.
Yeah.
But the poblanos versus the shishitos, they were okay with it. One particular person laughed and said, I enjoyed them anyway. Now, we told them, come back to us this spring and we'll give you a free poblano plant. So we got to grow some extras this year for that. But this is exciting. Now, this is Baker Creek Seeds, which is rareseeds.com.
Right.
And we buy a lot of seeds off of them. They are not organic, but they grow organic. And they are approved by our organic certifier. We've already got that approved, because a lot of what they sell, we can't get nowhere else in a trustworthy seed. Now, some of what they have ain't available nowhere else, period.
Yeah.
But some of it is available, but it's not from a trustworthy seed source.
Yep.
We know that they are strict non-GMO. We know they don't use chemicals to treat their seeds. And we know their growing practices, and so does the organic certifier. So these are approved for us to use under our organic operation. But now this is only a small part of the seeds we buy. The majority of our seeds do come in organic. We're probably 90-95% organic, but Baker Creek offers some stuff that we can't get nowhere else.
Just like on Johnny's, the OG is organic. So that's
the
first one I have to pull.
Majority of what we do. But we do know these are grown organically. They do a good job. But they got a really cute package. I don't know if all these are the same. No, they're not. So here's this one. And that one is a Sapporo Giant No. 4 cabbage. It's got rabbits inside the cabbage is how big they're trying to say it is. And this,
I'm wondering if that's almost like the storage No. 4 cabbage.
I don't know. It says it's a giant, so I don't know.
Well, the No. 4 is a pretty big one.
And I'm not sure. And then we got Chinese red meat radishes. That's very popular, also known as a watermelon radish.
That's what I got too.
So that's pretty cool.
We grow those. Those are so good.
So we placed an order for some seeds.
Obviously, we actually placed 3 orders.
And found out they were going to give away some free seeds with it. So we went ahead and placed another order, and then talked ourselves into another order because we need a lot more seeds, but gotta be frugal with our money. Usually these packages open better than that. That one did not want to open. Oh, I know what this one is. So these are our basils.
Ooh.
So we have lime basil. Basils are popular,
Yeah.
not just with us.
We had a crop failure of lime basil the last 2 years, so.
And we have, did we order 3 packs of cinnamon basil? I thought we were only ordering 2.
I don't know. I think you placed that order, so.
No, you placed the order. We ordered 4 packs of cinnamon basil. That was a mistake. That should not have been. She didn't check the order before she clicked it. No doubt I was the one that ended up putting it in there, but she didn't check the order before she sent it through. If she had, we wouldn't have ended up 4 packs of cinnamon basil, because that's like 100 seeds per package, and knowing them, it's more like 150 seeds per package. So that's like 3 years worth of cinnamon basil.
Yeah, so y'all buy cinnamon basil this year.
Yeah, we will have cinnamon basil for sale.
Yeah.
And we got lemon basil to go along with our lime basil, because you got it, right?
Oh, yeah.
It's a must.
They do taste different.
And then we have, this is a new one for us, blue spice basil. But hang on, we bought it, and guess what the free gift was? You got it. Blue spice basil. So the one we bought has 100 seeds in it. The free one, 20, 25. It don't have a lot, but that's okay. We'll use
Their free seed packets are usually more like a kind of a trial to get you to like them.
And it works a lot of the
yeah.
time. Matter of fact, we've got Datils as a free seed before. And a lot of lettuce, a lot of lettuce, a lot of lettuce.
And carrots.
And carrots.
Yeah.
But anyway, the blue spice basil, because you may not have heard of this, or you may not have heard of any of these, but we like all the different basils. This is just a small portion of the basil we will grow this year for us and for plant sales. But the blue basil says an especially fine appearance in pots or in the garden, has a heavy fragrance with spicy vanilla overtones.
Ooh, so that probably will make a really good tea. I might make some hibiscus blue spice basil tea.
So
that would be good.
That's exciting. Now the cinnamon basil we've grown before, correct? Multiple times. And it's a spicy flavor, and it's got an anise taste to it. So that's
kind of licorice.
Kind of a licorice hint. It's a tasty Mexican variety. So very nice in certain dishes you're going to make too.
Oh, yeah.
This will work in several dishes to give you that flavor you're looking for.
Really good. A lot of people use that as, a lot of people say the cinnamon basil is like Thai basil. There's so many different varieties of it, but it can be like a Thai basil, and you can use it in place of the specific Thai basil.
Now, these seed packets on these basils are $3 a packet. For 100 seeds, you get way more than $3 worth of enjoyment out of basil.
Oh yeah.
Oh my goodness. How much pesto, how much tea, how many teas, how much enjoyment of watching the pollinators work the blooms on it. Basil is the way to go. If you don't want to grow it from seed, because it is some work.
Oh yeah.
Herbs from seed are work. But if you don't want to grow it from seed, we'll have plants. We ship
we
also.
actually have plants on Etsy right now, and some people have already placed their order.
Started placing their order for their herbs. So if you don't want to grow from seed, we ship. We do that through our Etsy store, and we do ship from our website too. But the Etsy store is more detailed than the website at this point. That's something we're working on. By the end of the next winter, when we go into next spring, not this spring, the website will be completely revamped. So we're working on that. So the lime basil says is a unique lime-flavored basil from Thailand. And it's a popular variety for fresh market. And it is a very popular variety.
Oh, yeah.
And then the lemon basil, it says, is a wonderful, light, yet intense, lemony fragrance, and taste. And it is a real culinary delight.
Very true.
Now, this one is exciting. This is what we found out that they were going to give
This is the
with
reason
each
why we went
order.
ahead and placed
So we
orders.
went ahead and placed another order after this one because I got thinking, we're going to have to buy those seeds, and the sale's going to go off tomorrow, so let's go ahead and buy them.
Yeah.
Instead of waiting, a week. So, Black Beauty tomatoes. Now, if you've never grown Black Beauty, I say why.
Oh yeah, they're so good.
Black Beauty, while it's not my favorite tomato, it is probably one of the prettiest ones you pull out of the garden.
Mm-hmm.
The flavor is so rich and so tasty. It's got that deep, deep, deep flavor to it.
Now, the color on here shows black. But now, in reality, it does have this black. But
That
as it
depends
starts...
on sun exposure.
And as it starts to turn, it will turn a little bit green. So what it reminds me of when it turns this green on the bottom is a Wicked Witch.
Yeah.
So
it's cool. It's a cool tomato.
But as it matures, that green turns into a deep, like purple red. It is.
They
like
are amazing tomatoes.
Maroon. I mean, it's gorgeous.
Now you can get examples that are exactly like that when you pickle. Sometimes they do come out black. And in case you wonder, this is the world's darkest tomato.
Yes.
It still holds that record. It is the world's darkest tomato. Matter of fact, that's what Baker Creek says. It's so dark that some tomatoes turn solid blue, black on the skin. So that's what I was just telling you. Tiffany tells you a lot of them have kind of a red streak through the half of the tomato and down. And then some of them will actually turn this deep blue, black color. They're gorgeous. You just can't go wrong with them. So, what we got, Tiffany?
My turn.
Your turn?
My turn.
All right.
See if I picked the right one.
I'm excited.
I know. Maybe I picked the really exciting one. I don't know which one's
Woohoo!
really exciting and which one's not.
And we still got another order to place at Baker Creek, but we have to watch our money. This time of year, we're farmers. This time of year, there's not as much money coming in, so we still got bills to pay. So we buy as we can. And so there'll be probably 2 more Baker Creek orders, and then we'll be done. And those are mostly all for new varieties of tomatoes that we are adding to our repertoire. What you got?
Yeah. Well, apparently we also did not pay attention when we... No, wait a minute. That's zeroed out. Okay. I was like, what did I do? So, they decided on this order, for whatever reason, they sent us 2 packs of Black Beauties in this order.
They did.
Yeah. So, hey, Baker Creek, thank you, because, wow, that was amazing.
Wasn't expecting that.
That's pretty awesome. Our free...
Now, for whatever reason they did that, if these seeds are getting to where that they don't think they're going to sell them all, they're overstock position or whatever, it doesn't matter to me.
Yeah.
Because tomato seeds, we've had the golden jubilees. We had golden jubilees that were 9 years old from when we bought them, and we bought them as bulk seeds. So they may have been already 1 year to 3 years old from a local supplier. And 9 years, now don't get me wrong, 9 years after us having them, and we freeze ours every year. Some people say that's not good, but that's what we have done forever, and it works. 9 years. And while germination was low, we still were getting 25% germination out of those seeds at 9 years. And the year before that, it was a 50% germination. So at 9 years, what was left, we threw it in the garbage. After we germinated for that year, the rest of them went in the garbage because we didn't want to get down to 10%. Now, if it had been a rare seed that we didn't have no more of, we'd have grown them again the next year, and we would have just took a tray, and we would have sowed those tomato seeds on it. We'd have patted them down, and whatever grew up, we'd have transplanted. And that was how we would have handled that.
Yeah. Okay.
That's awesome, though. Wow.
It is. So the free seed is more blue spice.
So we are set on blue spice. We'll have plenty of those plants for sale.
So make sure you pick that one up. Now this tomato
wanted this for years.
Yeah, but then they had Baker Creek, their new little sponsor they got, or not sponsor, but new speaker that they got that tells about everything. He had this tomato.
They got a video on it.
Yeah.
Yep.
And he had it even like on a skewer, roasting it over the fire.
I
My
wanted
gosh,
this
hold on.
tomato for years, but all the seed suppliers were non-approved for organic.
So, Jersey Devil.
So we've held off. And when I saw Baker Creek had it, I was like, Tiffany!
It is very meaty, high yielding, later maturing variety. Great for fresh eating, great for sauce, and apparently, according to the dude from Baker Creek, and I don't remember his name, new dude from Baker Creek.
Yeah, I can't think of his name either.
But apparently, according to him, it is great for roasting over an open fire.
Open fire. He said it makes a good vegan hot dog.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about all that. I'm not really. I'm not a vegan. Now, during the summertime when tomatoes and peppers and cucumbers
vegans.
start coming in, we get close to being vegan. But we're not vegan because first of all, we still want to eat our chicken eggs for breakfast a lot of times, and we're going to drink milk. We're going to have so we're not vegan, but we get close to
vegetarian.
Close to vegetarian.
Yeah,
and definitely I could go. What is it? Pescatarian.
Mm-hmm.
I could go pescatarian because I could live off vegetables and fish.
Yeah.
I can handle that lifestyle.
Not me. Gotta have red meat.
She's got to have red meat. Not only for the taste, she's got to have red meat because she's got celiac, and the red meat, she needs that extra iron into her body because her body don't absorb it well.
So,
Now, get ready to tell you about my favorite tomato. This is probably my #1 favorite sandwich tomato. Not my favorite tomato. My #1 favorite sandwich tomato.
It is the Berkeley tie-dye green. Now there are some Berkeley tie-dyes.
Pink.
And they have Berkeley tie-dye green, and they have Berkeley tie-dye pink.
Yep.
And I think that's all three of them.
Yeah, I think it's Berkeley tie-dye green, and Berkeley tie-dye pink. I think that's what they got.
It is gorgeous. It is green. It's green on the inside when it's mature. It has those beautiful red stripes throughout it. It's just a pretty tomato, but it tastes good.
Yeah, with this, what you can imagine, I want you just to think about this for a second. If you ever eat a ripe green tomato, now they're different than anything else. I'm not a big fan of ripe green tomatoes. This taste is a little too twangy for me, I guess if that's a word, twangy. But when you add this red to it, this orange, whatever you want to call it, oh my goodness, it gets that acidic flavor of a red/pink tomato, and then you got that twang of that green. This is the best BLT tomato ever.
Very good.
Ever. And they are about 1 pound.
Okay, so the next one is customer favorite, our favorite. It is
I don't know if it's my favorite, but it's a go-to.
It's an absolute essential for our farm.
Every year in the garden.
Yeah.
Never not a year.
The datil pepper. Originally from St. Augustine,
Florida.
Florida. And
well, originally we don't know where it's
Yeah.
from. It's suspected that Spanish settlers brought it in with them. But anyway, the oldest it can be tracked back to for sure is St. Augustine.
so we grow datil. We also grow fatali. Now the datil is a little bit more smooth. Although these show that a little bit more bumpy, so this may be closer to the St. Augustine.
They're real similar peppers, but the flavor's not similar.
Yeah. Now the heat level, very similar.
Yep.
They're that habanero level.
Yep.
Be they're great.
The
peppers.
teal don't taste nothing like a habanero though.
So,
you really have to enjoy one to
It is
be able to appreciate it.
definitely more fruity, and it doesn't have the smokiness of a habanero. So.
Right.
But yeah, this one's one it is absolutely essential. Now we have some of our seeds that we had saved that were non-isolated, which we're still going to plant.
We'll plant this year.
Yeah.
Well, we've got a couple. Most of them come out as datils, but we have got a couple of really good crosses out of that. We had one last year we called a red datil.
Right.
And it came out red, shaped almost exactly like a datil, a little bit shorter. It was probably more of a 2.5, 3-inch fruit instead of a 3.5-inch fruit.
Yeah.
And but wow, what a pepper!
Yeah. So datils. And we got a. I kind of messed up my envelope, but on the inside of the envelope it says "Smile. You've got seeds. Happy growing."
Yeah, the same thing the other one says too. I didn't say that. Happy growing.
Oh, wait a minute. Is that something? Thought I heard seeds, but nope.
You better not leave seeds in those packages. I mean, that's grounds for beating.
So also, this is really cool, and we hope to go one day.
Maybe next year.
I know. Maybe this year, possibly. You never know.
It's possible.
Yeah. They have the National Heirloom Expo in Ventura, California It has been a dream of ours since we saw it 11 years ago through Baker Creek. A lot of places have got to go. Jess from Roots and Refuge, I think that's where she actually started getting like really big, is after she went to the Seed Expo there. But it's a lot of people have just fallen in love with farming and gardening after going here. But they've got so many cool stuff. They got seed swap, speakers, displays, vendors, contests, entertainment. But it is in Ventura, California, and we are on the opposite side of the country in East Tennessee. So that's a long way for us. Be a big old flight, hotel rooms, all kinds of stuff. But hopefully, one day we'll get to go. So
we'll save the free seed to the end, so it'll be a surprise.
Oh.
So, guess what? Another thing of Black Beauties. It's odd that all these seeds came on the same day, as a matter of fact. It's kind of weird. They must have just kind of batched it all out and dropped it because they were ordered at different times. But they all ended up here at the same time.
Yeah.
Which works for us.
Yeah.
Makes a fun unpackaging video.
Oh, yeah.
So, this tomato is probably my favorite of that series of tomatoes.
Yeah.
It's a very beautiful tomato, rich tasting, amazing flavor. It does lose out for me, to Cherokee Purple, even though this is a more usable tomato than Cherokee Purple.
See, I like this one better than Cherokee Purple.
Cherokee Purple gets that green top on it,
Mm-hmm.
and you end up not using that whole green top. The chickens enjoy it, or if you got hogs, they would enjoy it. But Cherokee Purple, you usually lose almost a fourth of the tomato. Eighth to a fourth. If the whole tomato ripens to purple, that's the oddity. But anyway, this is a great tomato, and it is true black Brandywine now. You can call it just black Brandywine.
Yeah.
But it's called true black Brandywine because it was worked on for a long time to get it to that point. And this was bred around late 1920s by Dr. Harold E. Martin. It's extra large fruit full of deep, earthy, sweet flavor that makes black tomatoes so popular. And that's all true. I want to say that these range 1 to 2 pounds in general, if I remember
they're
right.
big.
But that's an amazing tomato. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. And this order, we've had that one before. This order was about more of getting some new stuff, what we were working on. But anyway, and restocking on. But this was what we wanted to get, a new tomato in this. We needed that. We only had a few seeds. And we want to be able to supply plants in this, so we'll have a few plants still, not a lot. So get your orders in quick if you want some of these things that you see here that we're going to offer, because some of these that we're growing new for us, there'll only be a handful of plants available because we won't have enough seeds for that and us.
Yeah. So
this is going to be another one of those examples. This is only supposed to be 10 seeds in here, and tomatoes and peppers have got expensive. So this is a $3.50 package of seeds and 10 seeds in it. So you can do the math. That's 35 cents a seed. And the black Brandywines were $4, but you do get 25 seeds in those. So this is a salad type tomato. Actually, it would be considered a large salad / small slicer is how you would. This is in that in-between category that most people don't want. But this makes a great tomato put on your plate with your supper because it don't take the whole plate up. Now, nothing wrong with a big rainbow or hillbilly potato leaf that's 2.5, 3 pounds, or a mana orange, and you slice it and it takes up the whole plate, and you got room to put a little bit of soup beans over here and a little bit of fried potatoes over here, and then you lay your cornbread right on top. Nothing wrong with that, but it takes the whole plate, or you need a second plate one. It's up to you. So, this is called brown sugar tomato. And this is a 5-ounce variety. This is a Russian heirloom. And I'll read to you what Baker Creek has to say about it. Now, this one is a fairly long one to mature. This is a 95-day variety. And it is indeterminate. With silky texture and a smoky, complex flavor. Black tomato that the black tomatoes are famous for. The rich, nuanced flavor. And it's a 5-ounce globe-shaped fruit of brown sugar does not disappoint. This is a gourmet tomato, just perfect for snacking, slicing, cooked dishes, and salsas. So
and hopefully I'll have enough to make some brown sugar sauce.
So it's definitely not a cherry. You can see how meaty it is right there. At least I hope you can see. But it's not big enough to be really what I would call a slicer, because that's on the bottom side of slicer. Yeah. 5 to 8 ounce is that small slicer, but yet 4 ounces where we kind of cap out on salad tomatoes. So I guess you could justify it as a slicer, but boy, it's a small slicer. So that would be a good one. So now this one we just needed to restock seeds. This was we had a crop failure, and we used all of our seeds that year. Yep. And we didn't grow this one last year because of that. And I don't think we grew it last year. I think the year before was the last year we grew it, and we had a crop failure. Yeah. But this is, I'm sure, I hope I pronounced this right, Reza Macedonian.
That's how we've always said it, so.
And it's a traditional Macedonian type pepper that ranges from mild to sometimes quite pungent, bold flavor.
So they're not really good for fresh eating.
And they're embroidered. You see how they're that's the way they're supposed to be. That cracking, that's called embroidery on this particular pepper.
For me, I have tried to use these in fresh uses, and I just can't get it right. But what it shines to me, and this is why we keep it and we have to have it, is when you dry it and make it into powder or flakes. Oh, they are so good. Yep.
If you've never grown a pepper for drying and making powder out of, and you can make powder out of any pepper, but some peppers shine as powder or flakes. And if you've never grown one that's particularly designed for that, I encourage you to. We'll have them for sale. We really like that, and we grow a lot of different stuff that is good for powders and flakes. And some of the peppers are not just single use, like this one kind of shines as just powder and flake. Some of them are great for roasting, fresh eating, stuffing, and for powder. Yep. So there's different ways to go. So you're not going to guess what our free seed was.
Blue
Spice Basil! All right, guys. Hey, I know the video run on for a little bit, but I wanted y'all to share in the enjoyment that we have with our seeds and the enjoyment we have this time of year of getting the garden planned and ready. Get your garden planned. Get it laid out, whether you do that in your head or on a piece of paper. I recommend doing it on paper. I'm a visual learner, a hands-on and visual learner. So I lay my stuff out on a graph book and try to kind of draw to scale and work with what I've got. So this will be a plot of beans for us this year. I know it's probably kind of hard to see on your screen. And then the other thing I recommend, either buy you a calendar or find one of your farm stores or something that'll give you a free one.
Go to your nearest USDA or NRCS office.
Yep, they may have one for you. Your farm stores usually give them away this time of year. Yeah. But I recommend a calendar, preferably one with pretty pictures so you can enjoy every month. And then write out your planting dates on when you want to plant stuff. You can do this on your phone or your computer, and maybe that's better for you. Me, I like a paper source that I can easily walk to the wall. Like I know right now, I am behind on seeding leeks and peas. I am done with asparagus finally. I need to mark that off my list. But leeks and peas have to be done probably tomorrow or Monday. And then right now, it's time for me to seed celery, lavender, marjoram, oregano, thyme, and it's time for my second tray of rhubarb. We do multiple plantings of rhubarb, so this is time for tray number 2 of rhubarb. So it's time to get busy. And next week puts us at 10 weeks till our last frost. So we watch that on the calendar. I write all that down. I write down my last expected frost date. You don't know exactly. We estimate our last frost date of being the 21st of April. It may be the 28th of April. It may be the first week of April.
The Farmer's Almanac says the 24th of April.
And
but they don't give Johnson City. They give Elizabethton
Right.
and Knoxville. So
Yep.
we kind of, we're in between there. So
we're not what Knoxville is. We're definitely not what Elizabethton is. And we're not what Kingsport is. Kingsport is even earlier than that. But I know, and then I go back and I do 4 weeks till last frost date. I do 8 weeks till last frost date, 10 weeks till last frost date, and 12 weeks till last frost date. And that way, every page I'm on, I can kind of look and know where I stand and what I'm working on. So, like next, as of next Monday, it's time for me to seed mustard, cabbage, collards. So it's brassica time. Kale, calabri, and basil. Now the basil, don't get carried away. That's for our online sales. Locally, you still got a little bit of time for your basil. But that is for our online sales. We will start, and I designate that on here that's for online sales. So I don't mess up and go, oh gosh, I got to get all the basil planted. No, I only got to get a couple of rounds of basil planted, a couple of trays to cover our online sales because we ship all over the country. So the people in Georgia and southern Georgia, much farther down than that, we don't do much sales because we don't want to start the stuff that early in the year. I'd be starting basil in the 1st of January, and we don't want to do that. So we just don't have it available that early. And so this gives us something to work with. All right, guys, that's all. Make sure you like and subscribe for more exciting news and for gardening tips and garden walkthroughs. If you don't have a big garden, maybe you can enjoy our garden this year and the varieties that we pick. We're going to try to do some tomato tasting videos. Some of them will be real short ones. We may do a tomato tasting video in the field. We may do a watermelon tasting video in the field. We may do cantaloupe tasting videos. There'll be pepper reviews also.
Probably not in the field, except for sweet
We
peppers.
probably won't do. We probably won't do pepper reviews in the field. We don't want to be crying in front of everybody if it happens to be a really rough pepper. And we're going to do some heirloom reviews this year. Now, most of these things we showed you today are heirlooms. Probably the only one that's not, and it's getting close, is the Berkeley tie-dye green, and that's what we would consider as a modern heirloom. It's not a hybrid. It's an open pollinated variety, but it is more of a modern variety, even though I'm pretty confident Berkeley tie-dye green is completely stable at this point because I've never had one that didn't come out like a Berkeley tie-dye green. And we have sown a lot of those tomatoes over the years.
Brad Gates does a pretty good job of getting them.
Well, and he's got some. We've bought some, and he tells you that it is stable, but it's only stable.
Yeah.
You know, so we've bought some off of him before that we had a few oddities popped up, whether it was a much smaller variety or a much bigger variety tomato than what it was supposed to be.
If you don't know, Brad Gates is from Wild Boar Farms, and he is the creator of the Black Beauty and the Berkeley tie-dyes.
Yep. He's got a lot of cool tomatoes. We sell some of his seeds, we sell a lot of his plants that we grow. But if you want to just buy some seeds from him, go to his website. We encourage you and hide your pocketbook, hide your credit card, hide your debit card unless you're ready to spend. Because before you know it, you'll drop $100 on tomato seeds and wonder, wow, now what am I going to do? You got to turn your whole place into a tomato garden. All right, guys. Thank you for watching. Appreciate it.